2025.
Smooth move. Hey, I'm looking literally as I'm talking to you guys. I'm looking for my long-term apartment in Cartagena and one in
My fellow N-words, there is no need to go to South America. Let us go back to Africa.
not yet. That's fine and
You
all,
just
but
gotta learn how to speak Afrikaans. Just say Ungawa.
so I would definitely, yeah, I would definitely suggest that black people still
Don't move to Colombia
work
now.
together.
Just move next to a Colombian restaurant. No, man. Why move there when they move here?
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. I mean, the reason why I would move is because it's definitely better climate, um, different kind of region, different kind of culture. I preferably like it. Yeah, the food is better, produce is better. You don't run into the same situations that you do here as much. I That's my personal preference. I definitely like the climate in Cartagena. The winter's 81 degrees. It's cheaper to live. $1 is equivalent to four shares. Muy, muy poquito entiendo. Sí, sí, yeah, definitely. And that's what I do. But thanks to Google too, I can use Translate, Google Translate. I've been doing that. I've been going back and forth the last 2.5 years.
Well, do you complain
But
about racism in America? Because wait till you live in Colombia. Those white European Spaniards don't like blacks very much.
where have you been in Colombia?
Señor, soy de colombiano. Estudio en colegio y la escuela de la secundaria para 4 años en Caracas.
4 years ago, you used to live in Caracas. So here's the thing: like, I've lived in Medellin and Cartagena. I don't run into that with the white Europeans. I don't see that as much. I've seen it out of other dark Latinos to some degree.
You've seen dark
Um,
people be racist to dark people?
to Black Americans, yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Not
So
even
it's not
racist though.
white
It's
people.
not racist.
It's not white racist
It's not.
Europeans. Wow.
Can I finish my sentence? Can I finish my sentence without interrupting? So yes, there is. I have seen those spotty probably less than a handful of times. Out of all the times I stayed for like 4 to 6 months at a time, and now I'm actually moving permanent. But I've seen it less than half of the time. But it's more their optics of us Black Americans being arrogant, cocky, ignorant, or passport blowing it up. Even though the people that are going down there doing all that goofy shit, fucking them up, is Germans, Canadians, Jewish people, and Italians.
They've been doing it. They just don't
Not
want to
not
admit it.
Russians, Canadians mainly. Not a lot of
Even
Russians down
while
there.
white people were doing it, they don't want your nigga ass over there doing it.
Well, it's not even that. They love the Black Americans. My experience down there has been nothing but love and respect. Have I, in a handful of times, come across some bullshit? Yeah, but I haven't. I've conducted myself and survived America for 43 years of my life. So being down there is like paradise to me. I don't get pulled over for driving in nice Benz or stuff shit like that. Like I get profiled here. I don't have to worry about mass shootings as much. You know what I'm saying? Are there things that happen? Say it again. I don't deal with them. Yeah, they have their own thing. The real cartels are your Venezuelan gangs people with the Colombians, and they usually be ducked off in their own barrios. I'm not a part of that. I kind of kick it where it's a little safer, and I don't really I've carried myself accordingly. You know what I mean? And I don't have those problems. I don't see those kind of issues. Does it go
Well,
down? I'm pretty sure it
with the
does.
new order though, is anywhere safe at this point? Like, I mean, where are we running to? What corner of the earth we really running to?
Well, I wouldn't say that you have to run. I just say that black folks
I
need
mean,
to work
that's just a
together.
figure of speech, RJ. Just a figure of
Right.
where
I
you
got what
gonna
you're saying.
run to,
Like,
baby?
yeah,
Where you gonna run
I
to?
wouldn't. I wouldn't say that we would even have to run though. I mean, I get what you're saying. I just think that if we work resources out of white-owned financial institutions and put it into owned black institutions, and they did that within 3 days. That would make world news, and it would cause a run on those larger banks, and it would dilute their value in the stock market and everything else. And then it would, of course, increase black-owned banks and give them more visibility and reaches and resources to do more things for our good. That would be a
You
first.
do realize that geography doesn't solve psychology, philosophy, compassion, kindness, love. Geography solves nothing.
Well, that's what I was getting to. When I said we don't have to really necessarily run from anything. That's what I was alluding to.
I mean,
I'm
you
glad
can
you
go
said that.
vacation in Colombia, but I wouldn't live in Colombia.
Well, I lived in Colombia and I love it. It's better. I mean, think about this. I mean, when I'm in Boca Grande, that is the equivalent of me living in South Beach. And at the 37th floor of Morano Elite, that would be like, in America, that'd be $20,000 a month. I pay $3,900. In Poblado and the Estragas, you know, the place I'm at, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, loft, mid-level, that'd easily be $16,000 to $20,000 in Soho, Buckhead, or California, and I'm paying like maybe $4,200.
Yeah, but look, why would you go to New York City? They have 150,000 illegal aliens living in the streets. In Chicago, another 150,000. All these cities are now infested with the people that you want to go live with down there. I mean, it's expensive everywhere, but
Well, there's nothing wrong with those people. They're actually better than Americans.
oh, great, great. Go let them live in tents outside your house, sir. Go let them commit robberies and rape your daughter and shoot your cousin. Enjoy it. You can enjoy it.
That happens with white males in America.
Oh, I know. Murder and crime happens everywhere.
So, but the most people in the world are locked up in America. The most drug consumptions are in America. The most mass shootings and school shootings are in
That's
America.
because all the fake money is created here, and all these people keep getting free money.
Well, the white portion doesn't even matter. It's the fact that there are better opportunities that I see to exploit in Colombia.
It's an internet world, though. The internet, it doesn't matter where you live.
But, well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, bro, what works for you? It works for you.
I'm just saying I have moved across the country. I have moved across the world, and you realize it's all just a vacation.
So that's great, and I like vacations, right? So I feel like for me, that's the right choice for me. You know what I mean? So, I understand what works for you.
I'm just saying you got to build your shire. You have to have your own shire.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, honestly, for Americans, that's what we need humility. That's why we're going to get our asses whipped, because we are too arrogant. We got to think a lot of these other countries are fucked up because of us.
Yeah, no shit. It's called regime change.
And
Don't
that's
say
what's going to happen here.
what's next.
Yes, I understand to whom it applies. I'm not talking about anyone specifically. I'm talking about when I say us Americans in general. Like, we're the ones that fucked up all these different countries. And here's my thing. Like, me being there, it's a different kind of culture to me. I don't have problems with that. You know what I'm saying? Being out there. They're very good people.
Well, that's because you speak English and they know you got money.
Well, it's not even just that. You know what I'm saying? It's that I'm also a good person, right? And I conduct myself with respect and pride. And they like that, right? There's a different kind of culture and respect of family and community there. There's a sense there.
You mean if you want respect, you give respect?
Well, here's the thing. I give respect freely because I command it in return.
You're a commander?
I either leave the situation. If I give it freely, I expect that in return. I command it in return. If I don't get it, I either leave the situation.
I know, but that sounds like something Diddy would say to Obama and something Obama would say to Diddy.
Well, that sounds real baby oil-ish, and I don't have any more left. All I'm saying is that I'm not that type of guy. I don't live in that kind of fear or that kind of, I don't look at that.
So what is it about Colombian women, though, that you find so attractive?
Well, sir, that's my personal business, and I didn't mention Colombian women. So
I know, but the food, the women, the music, it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, you should probably go out there and find out, I mean, for me, I see an opportunity as a black American to
I think it's the
to
rotisserie chicken
stray.
that I like the most.
Brother, I would like you to please just show just basic respect. Just allow me to finish my
You don't
sentence.
like rotisserie chicken?
I
I
know
love
certain.
rotisserie chicken, sir. It's not a
Hold on,
joke.
David. Hold on, David. Some respect there. All right, hurry up,
I love rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. If I wouldn't have given asked 21 questions, I wouldn't have talked so long. But I would say, for me, I see it as an opportunity for Black Americans to spread our wings and get out the country and see and explore the world and increase trade revenue. So the second part, I mentioned about Black banking, but imagine if all Black melanated nations, South America, Caribbean, and Africa, were to sell goods to Europeans, but they would have to. The caveat is that they would have to go through Black Americans. What would that do for us economically, as already being ranked the eighth richest nation out of 226, right? So we have that ability. It's just we're not taking advantage of it. Therefore, I am. And, I think that it's a great opportunity for us to expand our culture and our reach and influence, and we would come out better than we would if we just stayed here. And I'm not saying that everybody should leave. I'm saying that everybody should leave to visit and conduct business and, explore, but definitely do what works for you.
Okay, reset the room. True or false? Kamala Harris is a drunk and a bitch.
True.
This title.
And would somebody like to address that? Victoria, Liza, to the stage?
She's a drinker and a rambler.
Yeah, I've been listening. I actually want to hear what Adrian has to say in terms of what America would look like with Kamala versus Donald Trump.
Oh my God, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, no, this dude is. Don't let him fool you. Now he's one of the smartest people on the app, in my opinion.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. You want to hear?
Well, Trump, it really comes down to leadership, character, personality, demeanor. And like you said, you just started off, is she a drunk bitch? Because that is a concern, meaning that we've all worked for bitches. And some of us have, bit our tongue and did the time and did it respectfully and did your best job you could, but nobody liked working for that woman or man who is a bitch, a dumb bitch. And there's a lot of dumb bitches, men and women. So the point is, Trump can also get super angry and have a bad temper and be nasty and not be nice. And he can probably fuck things up with his anger. So whoever gets in has to essentially be like a guru. And that to me is why it's like moving around the world is great. But to me, that's vacationing. Like wherever you're set up is where you're set up. Wherever your fucking bear hole is, where you hibernate, that's your operations. That's your base command. So I'm just saying that I think Trump, because of his uh, leadership career, already being president, being a business executive, when you look at Kamala, she's so government and such a drain on the taxpayers. Anybody who is just a government career politician, and especially these lawyers. I mean, this is our opportunity to tell lawyers as well. Go fuck yourselves, you fucking vampires. You criminals with licenses to steal. 9 out of 10 lawyer transactions are bullshit. They shouldn't even exist. So fuck these lawyers, fuck these bitches, and fuck anybody who gets drunk and goes on national television and cackles as if that's effective communication, as if that's leadership. That's fucking donkey ass bullshit childish behavior, and America cannot vote for it. But she's going to be installed. And Alex Soros just met with Waltz, and he's best friends with Kamala, best friends with Obama. This is not just a Kamalism takeover. This is an Obama third term. Obama is a Sith Lord. He's a homosexual, and he loves getting his dick sucked up in Gurney doing crack. So, he was bought and paid for by the Crown family, who's one of the richest people in Chicago. Their heir just died. He died driving a NASCAR, going around 200 miles around a loop. Oops, he dead. People die of all kinds of crazy ways when you're rich. You could be Kobe in a fucking helicopter. Oops. You could be Bill Gates and, oops, who knows? I mean, Kamala could, say, ha ha, you guys want to really launch a nuclear bomb against Russia? Ha ha ha, do it. Let's find out what happens. Hooray.
Well, thank you for that.
That was funny and accurate at the same time.
Hello, Liza. Welcome to the stage. All right. Well, would anybody else like to come up and address it because it's getting late? And, that late, but I need to do some other things around here myself.
I mean, you have to realize that no matter who wins, it doesn't really make a difference because an equilibrium is pretty much always at play. And the government is basically bipolar and binomial or binary. It's Democrat and Republican. And if you look at the history of the United States, there's only four political parties: the Whigs, the Federalists, the Democrats, the Republicans. And it's traditionally been a Republican America. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, the third president, Republican. Republicans all the way. And Andrew Jackson, first Democrat, didn't want a banking monopoly called the Federal Reserve, a Democrat. But now the Democrats preside over the committee that supervises the Federal Reserve, and they have spent fucking $40 trillion plus all the money they did collect, which was 250 trillion in taxes. They spent $300 trillion in 20 fucking years. This is the biggest scam in human fucking money history, banking history, the biggest banking scam ever carried out in human history. There's gonna be a day of reckoning. So, I would encourage you all to spend as much time as possible getting as organized as possible, financially speaking. I would pull your money out of the banks and the stock market if you can. I don't think it's a bad idea because
And put it where?
you'll have to store it yourself. You'll have to figure out a way to store it yourself. The point,
Worthless paper. It becomes worthless paper.
no, you can diversify out of paper and get into all other types of commodities. You can get into bullion. You can get into collectibles. You can diversify into real estate. You can get out of dollars, or to a certain extent.
Junk that rust
Well, what I'm suggesting, you're right, but what I'm suggesting is total diversification. If you believe in diversity, a diversified portfolio withstands banking collapse because in '08 bank stocks went from $70 to a dollar, and many of those bank stocks went bankrupt, like Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, and many others. So AIG, etc. The stock market will collapse again when the Congress, probably in Christmas in December, they pass the continuing resolution. But in December, if the Republicans win and Trump wins, or who knows if Kamala wins, the Republicans won't fund the government. And that's most likely what will happen, where Kamala will be installed and the Republicans won't fund the new government. And then we will have an economic collapse.
right. And when the economy collapses, you have nothing of monetary value that's going to help you survive. Maybe initially.
No, nothing will help. A diversified portfolio means that when everybody goes down 80% or 60%, you went down 20%. Something to that extent. You can't withstand the storm that's going to come.
making, semiconductors for chips, you know what I mean? Or a component that actually functions in a certain kind of way. But the kind of crash that we're talking about, I don't believe it's going to play out the way that we think that it will. It will be just as devastating, but it will have the perception of a put together or a still standing economy, even though it can
I'm talking about
tank all the way
massive.
down. It can tank all. No, listen what I'm saying. It could tank all the way down, but still have an infrastructure of exchange, right? Or the perception that this is stable to a floor, but it really is going to be a slow decline. It's going to be a massive disruption with a slow, deep decline, especially when it comes to assets of value like real estate. You're going to lose a lot of money on real estate, though.
I'm talking massive food shortages.
That too.
I'm talking,
Supply chain disruptions will definitely be there.
right, I'm talking about massive supply chain disruption of the gross national products we know in this economy. When all that comes crashing down, when all that comes to a grinding halt, it's going to be survival mode. It's going to be anarchy.
I'm cashing in my crypto.
Well, funny that you say that. Crypto might actually explode under these circumstances. People are going to want a place to put their money.
Well, anywhere, wherever. Like I said, I'm playing motherfucking Russian roulette, but I got chips on every motherfucking number.
Talking about double in the chat. Come on off the mic. So 538 million, Hotel 16.
Who they show me to? They cousin in India? Motherfucker, who's going to
I
Motel
don't know.
Sweet?
So 520 million.
Yeah, every time you go to those damn hotels, I'm like, they own all the hotels.
And the quality of hotels are so shitty now since these foreigners started owning them. I mean, you can't take a picture for face value no more. You gotta tell a motherfucker, can you go video record my room, please, now?
I mean, since those guys that go to the hotel industry, a combination is just so poor in the United States. I mean, if you stay in these mid-level hotels, I understand, like RJ, the Palatine Hilton, like different.
Well, guys, crypto money. Yeah, it's every quality is shit.
So do you guys think that Kamala's gonna win?
Yeah, I mean,
Why?
that's
Why?
Kamala is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Trump got me twisted. It must be getting late.
Oh, I told you to turn it down.
Nah, man, I'm a Trumpster. No Trumpster. White man Trumpster. White man get up in there and show you how to run a country.
I got it on voice isolation. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. You said she was gonna win because of what?
No, I'm a Trumpster. Straight up.
What state are you in?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, yeah. Well, he gotta win that state. He absolutely has to win that state. How's it looking in your opinion?
Well, I tell you, all the white folks got the Trump signs out. All the Negroes had the Kamala signs up. And I'm down here with a Trump sign, and all the Negroes is looking at me like I'm crazy. But yeah, he got a good. Seriously, I mean, me riding throughout the state of Philadelphia is a stronghold Democrats, of course.
Right.
But in the suburbs, he got it. I mean, suburbs putting those signs up. And there's a lot of blacks that are supporting Trump in the suburbs. But in the inner cities, it's a Democratic thing. You know how that is.
Yeah, that seems to be the makeup in America. Cities versus the suburbs.
But you know, in Pennsylvania, you have Philadelphia and you have Pittsburgh. And in between, you have Alabama and Mississippi. So, that's enough said on that.
Ah,
So you got the two urban cities that are Democratic, and then the city between is probably Republican. Or Republican. It's a big state too. Pennsylvania's not, it's not a gigantic state, but it's pretty big. Big state.
yeah, it's 19 electoral votes. That's big. That's like the fifth biggest. Like the fifth biggest state.
Yeah. And it's a red state. Well,
It's a swing. It's a swing state.
Sure.
Right? I think Trump won it in 2016, but he lost it in 2020.
Yeah, these white people out here in rural Pennsylvania believe in guns. They believe in nationalism, make America great type thing. You know, they're hunters. I mean, this goddamn governor, riding around in a ragged Jeep. I mean, the governor before, Governor Wolf, riding around. They're like, and the goddamn, the senator from Pennsylvania who was the lieutenant governor, wears a hoodie. What the hell is his name? That was a damn cool name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Fetterman, John Fetterman.
Yeah, every time you see him, I saw him on Face the Nation on Sunday. I was watching Face the Nation. He got a hoodie on.
Yeah, he real
Yeah,
cat.
that's how those rural Pennsylvanians are, man. When you get up there in Lancaster County, Montgomery County, Columbia County, I mean, you get up in the rural areas. It's suburbia up there, it's wooded up there, it's hilly up there, up in the Crescents, up in the mountain, the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. Yeah. What more can I say? It can go either way.
Yeah, I think Trump's gonna do it, but I tell you, Kamala wins, man. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of chaos and turmoil.
Trouble.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna be,
I think Trump has more momentum this time than last time because a lot of people are coming around. I really feel that the momentum that he has this time is greater than he had the last time. And we'll see. But that's just a feeling. I don't know how you.
yeah, we need Kamala to continue to do interviews because every time she does an interview, Trump gets 50,000 additional voters. So we just need her to do about 10 more interviews before November 5th.
I think that's why they put Diddy issues out there so everybody can see how bad she is.
Man,
I don't think she's coming back out anymore.
she is horrible to be a career politician, right? That's like a professional basketball player not knowing how to dribble, right? Like public speaking is something that you just have to do, right? Or you certainly should be good at with her job resume, according to her job resume.
I just need somebody to slow this motherfucking process down. That's all.
Yeah, I think this is like the last chance to sort of. I feel like the Democrats are just so far gone, right? They will definitely destroy this country. And in the future, future, I think that they'll end up, if the Republican Party doesn't make the proper changes, the Democrats will dominate in the future, and they're going to destroy the country. Even with the super influx of immigrants, just the people are not going to have enough time to assimilate, and so it's going to just create problems. It's like the problems we were talking about in the hotels, how their standards lower now. So when you have so many people at one time, it's a problem assimilating all those people. And so that's just going to change America in the future. Too many different people, too many different ideologies. Yeah, it's I don't know. I see it as being problematic, but I could be wrong.
No, it's definitely problematic. But you know, some also news, you know, it's really funny. RJ left. He's going down to Colombia and developing some businesses and talking about moving there. I'd be damned if I don't see those damn same Colombians in my neighborhood. And they are buying property. I'm not talking about squat. I'm talking about Colombians, Mexicans, Hispanics coming into the hood, buying fucked up, vacant properties and spending thousands of dollars to rehab them and live in them. Then you come out, you hear Mexican music, Spanish music, and you got chickens all over the neighborhood. But no, you know, it's really interesting because he's going, and I hear other Black Americans are going to these like Colombia, investing in their economy because it's cheaper or whatever, you know. But the big drug cartels are laundering their money in America, coming up through migrant means or whatever illegal means they're getting this money into the country and paying cash dollars for vacant, fucked up houses and rehabilitating them. Not only sitting there, fixing them up. Got all their little Hermanos coming in and they're fixing it up. I see this. This is real time, real life. So what the hell is going on here? Please explain.
Well, you know, to us, we see it as vacant and raggedy and not good enough. But to them, they don't see it that way. So to me, it's just a paradigm shift in terms of how we look at it. See, where they come from is totally different. Like, so when you grow up American, I think you have this American idea, and I think we've got so far into individualism, right? Like my parents, my mother grew up in a 4-room house with 8 brothers and sisters, right? And then my grandmother's added on to the house, eventually added 2 more bathrooms and a bedroom. So, you know, our beginnings were very humble. But now in America, you know, the houses are 10 times bigger and you have 1/10 of the child, right? Or no children. So I think that our American ideas are different. So the migrants are going to be able to survive too because they don't mind living together and working together, which is extremely important. So they're not going to be fighting, right? And 8 of them live in the house and save their money because that's what they're doing too. They're all living together, pitching in, and then saving their money, and then going and buying another house, and then they bring more people to come and live with them. So that's going to be an advantage for them, in my opinion. But like you said, it's already changing the culture, right? Because they're not necessarily assimilating. And I'm not saying that they should. I'm saying they should be wherever they want to be, but they don't lose their culture because they want to eat their own food, they're dressed, their holidays, they'll start practicing those. They're still listening to their own music. So yeah, so it does change America.
Yes, America is changing. It's changing. But it's always changing because the neighborhoods that we live in now used to belong to white folks. And interior hoods, all white people. permeates our neighborhood. And then now the damn Spanish are coming into our neighborhood, taking those same burnt out, cracked out properties, getting them off the tax roll some kind of way, and building. And there might be 2 or 3 families in that structure, but they're in there and they're maintaining it. America's changing. America changing. And where's our part? Where do we fit in with this changing America? We still haven't got our seat at the table. We still haven't gotten our reparation or our programs or our policies, or we still haven't had those implemented. We're holding on to a hopeless Democratic Party who makes promises every 4 years around election time. All these this policy that Kamala has now, why wasn't she implementing these policies when Biden was president? Why wasn't she chairing these committees and pushing this agenda? It's just a bunch of rhetoric. It's a bunch of political rhetoric. She's not going to do a goddamn thing. She said that about, no, I'm not going to do nothing specifically for black people. I'm going to do for everybody. So we know the game plan. But we'll know the final verdict in about 45 more days. And I'm going to be sitting back on election night. We're not going to know the result of the election until like a month later. They're going to hand count the votes in Georgia now. That's going to tie it up. And then, Florida's always a big mess when it comes to voting. Remember the Al Gore?
The Tads, the Chad, like 2001 or something.
Yeah, with the Bushes and the Gore in Florida. Jeb Bush was governor.
Yep.
Took them forever to count them goddamn votes. So what do you think's going to happen this time? It's going to take them forever to count those votes. And then there's going to be a recount if it's real close. So you and I might even know who the hell won this election well into to next year, 2025. Or close to it. This is what we're dealing with, America.
Well, Donald Trump said too big to steal. Right? Some one of them terms he's saying somebody's got to win in a landslide, or you're right. Otherwise, there's no telling what's going to happen. And then with social media being so misleading and uncontrolled, it actually creates a lot of problems as well. So
get ready for the popcorn. And don't forget the Russian involvement in the election, the rigging of the election through Russia or other Interpol or whoever the fuck that wants to manipulate this election. We're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. Cyber. Now the election ballots are all digital. It's not like it used to be when I started to vote when I was 18, where you pull the lever
there was no restriction whatsoever for mail-in voting, right? And it went from like 28,000 to 100,000 mail-in ballots. And they've made some changes. Like before, I think they had a drop-off box, and it wasn't monitored, it wasn't filmed. So now they changed that drop-off box, and you can only put in one at a time because they believe that people were stuffing those ballots. They were organized and getting signatures and stuffing those ballots. So I can't wait to see those numbers in terms of the voting in Georgia, like mail-in ballots, because they went up 2/3. Two-thirds of the voting in 2020. So they went from like 30-something thousand to 100,000. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, in Georgia, they had that voter fraud, voter suppression bullshit going on down there. So you can expect allegations of voter suppression during this general election, I'm sure. It's going to be interesting. I really believe it's going to be an interesting election. Elections are really fun. We used to have
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Well, here she goes. Always got something to say. Yeah, we used to have an old saying in politics. I'm not about to close my mouth. They said if it's raining on election day, it's a Republican election. If it's not raining, then it's normally a Democratic election.
Niggas don't come out in the rain. That's terrible. I don't give a fuck if it's a goddamn tornado, snowstorm, and a motherfucking hurricane all in one. I'm gonna chain myself to a tree. I'ma buy a rope long enough because my voting thing is not even it's about a half a mile. So I'm gonna get me a couple of ropes, tie it to the biggest tree in the neighborhood, and walk my ass over there.
Yeah, that's very true though. Because in my opinion, the Republicans are more dutiful, right? They understand why exactly who they're going to vote for and why. Where the Democratic Party is always trying to motivate people and give them incentives to vote and trying to get them. So there's a lot more of them. Because when you're young too, you usually automatically going to vote Democrat anyway, right? So, but yeah, so maybe it'll rain. Hopefully it'll be raining and thundering and storming.
That's really weird. That's not what you would think. Yeah, that was the old saying. That was the politics.
Yeah, I believe it. It sounds right. Because even Trump's numbers, they're always saying that Trump, his numbers are they're staying pretty steady, right? And they keep saying Kamala needs to get more people. And it seems like her strategy is not really to persuade the undecideds or the independents. Her strategy seems to be to get younger voters, right? And build that way. So it's interesting her strategy because in her interviews, in my opinion, she hasn't moved the needle because she's not answering questions, she's not taking tough interviews, right? She's talking in circles. So people who are astute and who understand how the economy works, they keep saying, well, we don't have enough information from Kamala, right? Where if you go down younger, then you can get people just on identity politics. They won't care about the economy or crime or the border, right? But those are the things that you should be voting on, right? Economy, crime, foreign affairs, wars, right? But they can get them with identity politics.
Right.
So that's their strategy. I sure hope it fails. It's a horrible strategy. If it goes that way, it's going to change the whole way of doing things, right? And so, yeah, I don't know about that idea. But anyway, I'll land right there.
Well, I'm about to shut this thing down. Anybody else? Red just came in the room. I didn't know if you wanted to come up for a minute. Michaela, she's been down there for a while. She's actually coming up. So thanks for coming, and thanks for the contribution, and hopefully we'll see you sometime soon. I meant to shut it down. I took myself out. All right, everyone, have a good evening. And with that, we're going to end this room.
FS private neurons are dead, they're gone.
Of course, we already talked. I think that JD Vance is not going to be. It's not going to be Trump, where it's just like this. Was it Dingleberry? That's like almost painful to watch, being, mopped on the floor by. I mean, an American, like she's an ode to the American education system. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like, you got mopped by the floor by an Ivy League, you got mopped up. You got mopped. All right, sir. I'm sorry, with all, I'm sorry to say that's the reality of that. Not sorry, but it's not going to